Stop repeating yourself. They heard you the first time, and if they didn't, yo, what's good, family? It's your boy MJ here at MJ the Greatest, back with this week's episode. Huge shout out to y'all for all the likes, the comments, the following, the subscribing, the supporting. However y'all show love, I'm definitely feeling it like I do each and every single week. So huge shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for just rocking with me. We got another good one. For today, y'all. Just before I start, definitely if you've been following along with my journey, peep my most recent video. I just dropped a full, like, how would I describe it, pretty much like introduction to my new brand, Sporcoroto. I didn't want to do just some normal, just like, here's a post with a bunch of words, read these words, and you know, like, I want to do something a little bit different. So me and my good friend Los, shout out Los Productions, he was able to bring this vision together, and we were able to pretty much direct this short little intro video just to kind of give you guys like a background and feel of the brand and what it is, and what's a little bit of more of like what's to come and what's in store, right? So definitely check that out. That's my like last posted video. Well, maybe 2 videos ago, but it'll say Sporcoroto Winter 26, so that's how you know. All right, enough of that. Let's get into today's episode, y'all. Today's episode is titled Stop Repeating Yourself. Stop saying the same thing over and over again. And this is one of them ones, y'all. This is one of them ones because this is something that I had to take into my own account and like kind of really make it a point to stop repeating myself, right? And I mean this in many ways, right? Because this goes into so many different avenues, right? So I kind of just like break them down. So first is like very literally, like, don't repeat yourself, right? If you're talking to somebody, or you tell somebody something, or you ask a question, anything, right? Like you have a communication with a person. I seriously make it a point to literally never repeat myself. Like, quick sidebar, y'all know I gotta hit y'all with a saying real quick. One of my favorite sayings is, if they say huh, they can hear, right? So if you're talking to somebody and they like huh, if they say huh, then they heard you, right? So I just take that into account, like, in my life, right? When I say something and somebody's like huh, I know you heard me, so I'm not gonna repeat myself. So I take like a little pause to like let it like maybe catch up to their ear or whatever the case may be, because I know you heard me. And if you didn't hear me, if you genuinely didn't hear me and you like, can you repeat? I'm not gonna repeat exactly what I said, but I'm gonna say something that's what I said, but with different words. You know what I'm saying? Because I very literally, I take that very literally, right? And I'm trying to think like what, it was a specific point that I got to that I started to think like that, right? Because I always like that saying about, if you huh, you heard me, right? And nobody genuinely, like, nobody likes to repeat themselves. So it's always been a thing. But I was watching this dope movie. This movie probably came out in about like the 50s, and I was just gardening one day and I stumbled upon it. But if y'all want to check it out, it's called A Bucket of Blood. It's not, the name make it sound a little bit more like gory or something than it is, but it's not. It's really a movie for artists. Like, if you an artist, meaning like most likely 9 times out of 10, if you watching this, you should check that movie out. It's called A Bucket of Blood. But anyway, it's this dope, like, it starts like this super dope opening scene, right? And it's this poet, and he's at like this, like, basically like at a poetry slam, or kind of like a bar situation, and he's just on stage just ripping, right? And somebody, like, he finishes, he comes off stage, and then he goes to sit down with his friends, and just like, you know, people are like, oh, great show, blah blah blah. And somebody comes up to him, and he was like, can you repeat that one part that you said about da-da-da-da-da? I just loved how you said it. And he was like, the poet just looked at him, and he was just like, I already said it. for me to go back and relive that moment or re-say the words that I already said to him was taking time away from his life by going back into the past. And that just kind of blew my mind, because I'm like, you so right? Like, if I already said something one time, I'm literally wasting time by saying that same thing over again. I'm literally wasting time by doing that. I'm literally going back in the past by repeating myself. So once he said that, I just like, it kind of, like I said, it blew my mind and just kind of changed the way that I looked at communicating and how I go through. Because y'all already know, like, if y'all been following me, I 1000% believe in the power of the tongue, right? And I believe that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, right? So you should listen twice as much as you talk, right? And if I'm talking to you, you should be listening, right? I pride myself on being a good listener, or I do my best at least, you know what I'm saying? When somebody's talking to me, I want to listen to what they're saying and then be able to respond, not just listen to respond, you know what I'm saying? I feel like some people, they just want to respond so bad that they kind of block out what you're actually saying and they don't really hear you, right? And that is where it kind of like disrespect kind of can creep into it, right? Now, if you talking to somebody and you have an open dialogue and they just kind of like, huh, what'd you say, huh? Or like they off in like another dimension, or they on their phone or something, that's like, at what point can't we like we gotta call a spade and just say like that's disrespectful, right? Like, I'm clearly communicating with you. I'm not slurring my words. I'm not whispering. So if I'm saying these things, I know you can hear it, right? So that's one part of it, right? The second part of it is, you don't need anybody's validation to do something. You don't need anybody's validation to start something, right? A lot of us, and myself included, right? Like, we like to kind of share our updates or our news with other people and tell them like, hey, I'm going to do this thing. And if we don't get that response back that we might feel like we should get, or we get a response back of like, they don't really care, that can sort of like project onto us, right? And that's not what I want. So I don't want you guys to feel the need to have to tell somebody something a billion times to get them like pumped up or get them amped up or get them to care. If they don't care and have the same energy or juice or excitement that you have about it from you telling them that one time, don't repeat yourself. Don't repeat yourself, right? Because it's going to be like, oh, when did you start doing blah, 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 blah? It was like, I told you. I just told you about it. Oh, you did? But I thought, well, I'm not repeating myself, right? Especially like with plans, right? Because I've been talking about plans, especially like in my few recent last videos. If I had one thing, don't even tell nobody your plan, right? But if you do tell somebody your plan, don't feel the need that you have to keep filling them in or keep telling them what you're doing or what you got going on. I told you last week what I got going on. I'm still on that. I'm still on that. Heavily, overly, I'm still on that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to keep repeating myself, right? A question always get asked like, oh, what are you up to? What are you doing? What do you do? The same thing that I was up to the last time I told you what I was up to. And I'm not going to repeat myself by saying it again, because I know you heard me. So then, like I said, when I kind of mentioned disrespect before, right? It's like, are you trying to get me to keep repeating myself at this point? Or are you purposely being dense and like not listening to me when I am telling you? Either way, I'd rather just not repeat myself. Even if it's so literal down to, like I said, of me just saying the same thing in essence, but using different words, right? Because I'm not going back to something that I can't go back, right? I'm only going forward. We're only going forward, right? So it's like, we can't wait for, if you didn't hear me, I can't wait for your ears to open up and click and hear me, right? They was clean and open when you was hearing and listening and all that other stuff. But when it come to me and what I got going on and what I am doing and what my mission is, now you can't hear. Nah, it's huh. Nah. I'm not repeating myself, y'all. I told y'all in 2026, we not waiting on anything. We not letting any of our ideas go to waste. We not sitting around and waiting for nobody to stamp us, tell us to go, tell us to start. Do none of that. We got it. We got it. You got it. You got it. And you don't have to tell anybody. You don't got to wait for nobody to be happy for you. You don't got to wait for somebody to, oh yeah, I was just wondering, did you get my message? They got your message. They got your message. They saw your DM. They saw the email. We all, let's face it, y'all. We all have our phones in our hands at the very least 3 to 4 hours a day. And that's at the very least. So they got the message. They got the DM. They got the email. You know what I'm saying? But stop repeating yourself. Take back your power. Know that you got it, right? Stop repeating yourself. They heard you the first time, and if they didn't, forget them. Forget it. Because if it wasn't important for you to hear it the first time, why would it be important for you to hear it this second time? Right? That's just my 2 cents on it, y'all. I always want to let y'all know these are just my opinions, right? From my life experiences that I've personally gone through, right? I'm not saying I got the greatest opinion or that all my opinions are the right ones, but anything that I've gone through that I feel like I can share with you guys to help y'all not go through that thing or go through that thing easier, I'm always gonna do it, and I'm never gonna be sorry about it. So shout out to y'all. I love y'all for always rocking with me, always supporting me, always being here for me. And I'm gonna always be here for y'all. I'm gonna always be rooting for y'all, because like I told y'all way back when, if you know anybody that's rooting for you, it's me. And we gonna make it, y'all, one way or another. Peace out. Catch y'all next week. Love.